Yeah, we get it. We all love the moment when the superhero beats the bad guy in a well-animated fight scene, but there's something about a good, satisfying revenge moment that just, hits the spot. And that clip was proof that it can be awesome too. From being forced to do math to killing off entire armies, here are the top 10 satisfying revenge moments in anime. Welcome to Anime Donut, where we try to give you top-tier anime news and videos. Go ahead and subscribe, or my vengeance will come in the form of a ice-topped delicacy. Number 10. Shikamaru gets revenge for Asuma's death. Naruto Shippuden. We all know this one, and heck, it would be blasphemy not to put it on this list. Asuma's death was something none of us expected to see, and it broke the hearts of a lot of fans. But the moment Shikamaru got his revenge was just full-on satisfying. I mean, come on, he was against someone who wasn't only immortal, but could take on Jinchurikis. Everything Shikamaru did here was just a big brain move, and Hidan was dancing in the palm of his hand from the very start. Bro even made Hidan think he had the dub, only for him to bounce back to life. And that "goodbye, sensei" line is just, woo! It was both cold and emotional at the same time. This goes to show that even if you can't kill a guy, you could always make him be buried alive. Who knows, maybe even now in Boruto, Hidan is still there chilling with a rock in his mouth. Number 9. Kaneki tortures Jason, Tokyo Ghoul. What's worse than being buried alive for all of eternity, I hear you ask? Well, fear not, because I have the answer. Being asked math questions, while being broken into pieces. And that's exactly what happened to Jason after he chose the wrong person to torture. Jason was a menace who broke Kaneki mentally and physically. He made him hurt so bad that his entire hair color changed. But he shouldn't have done that, because when Kaneki snapped, he made sure that he got his payback and more. The music may have been mean to hell, but you gotta admit, it's fire. Once Kaneki went crazy, we already knew Jason had no chance. He even made him count, only for him to be eaten. Kaneki wasn't only getting his revenge, but was just flexing his own powers at this point. Just goes to show you that you should never, ever touch the MC of a shonen where someone dies in the first episode. I mean, look at Goblin Slayer and Eren from Attack on Titan. Those dudes literally became psychopaths. Number 8. Ainz kills Clementine, Overlord. But here's a true psychopath that deserved to die through the most horrible means known to man. I was a bit disappointed at how quickly she was killed because personally, I would have wanted her to be eaten by the cockroaches. Yup, it was this arrogant bitch from Overlord. And I'm gonna say it again, she should have suffered more. She killed the adventurers Ainz was with, and then she went on to fight the boss man himself. Well, she didn't know you couldn't kill a lich by stabbing it in the eye because they don't have one. And she learned that the hard way. Even with her boosts and her exploding daggers, all it took to kill her was just one mean bear hug. Ainz even said he gave her a handicap, which is mad disrespectful. No matter how much she flailed, scratched, and screamed, she couldn't escape, and I admit, every second of watching her suffer was satisfying. Keep in mind I'm not a psychopath, so if you're also not crazy, hit that like button and subscribe. Number 7. Literally the entirety of Castlevania. Castlevania. Yep, you heard me right. The entire plot of Castlevania is literally a revenge story. And personally, I think the humans kinda deserved it. People here aren't your typical innocent NPCs like in other fantasy anime, but they are the most despicable and realistic human beings in anime. You cannot get past one episode without hearing the word. But why did they deserve all this carnage? Well, it's because they burned Dracula's wife on a stake. And what did she do for them to kill her off like that? Nothing. She was actually learning modern medicine, and the church just decided to label her a witch. Now you know why Dracula wanted to wipe out every human being on Earth, because a superhero may sacrifice the girl to save the world, but a supervillain will sacrifice the world for the girl. Number 6. Kyoru humiliates Flare, redo of Healer. Come on, admit it or not, we've all watched this. Redo of Healer broke the internet and all the degenerates finally showed themselves when this specific episode came out. Yes, I'm talking to you, my little weebs, in the comments section who are calling me out for not putting this in one of our other lists. And again, you have to admit it, this is literally the H word in disguise. Like, tell me, what's the difference between these two? When Kyoru humiliated Flare, I bet you were satisfied too, in more ways than one. Bro even made her choose between his rod or a literal piece of metal that's so hot it could be perfect for making a kebab, and Flare deserved everything that happened here. If you actually watched the entire series, you know that what Clementine did is vanilla compared to what Flare made Kyoru suffer through, and that's why he became this loose. When it came to taking revenge, Kyoru did not cut corners. He made Flare suffer in the worst way imaginable, by being a member of a harem anime. Number 5. Naofumi spares the king and Multi. The rising of the shield hero. Why is it the pink-haired or red-haired ones who are always the meanest in anime? I don't know, maybe Japan just thinks pink and red equals evil, and if there's one that we hate the most, it's probably her. Multi was just horrible and the perfect example of a spoiled rich girl. She accused Naofumi of assault and finally, she got what she deserved. I just wish Naofumi wasn't such a goody two-shoes and let the queen cut their heads off, but hey, at least she'll be called a her whole life now. The way she was continually electrocuted too when she kept lying was funny and satisfying. The queen is just a badass, and I still cannot believe how much of a simp the spear hero is. Oh well, if she was executed, then the series wouldn't have continued. I guess even the stupidest characters have plot armor. Number 4, Levi humiliates Zeke. Again, and again. Attack on Titan. Yeah, and when talking about characters having plot armor, this one takes the cake, because he should have died a long time ago. Zeke is responsible for a lot of deaths, especially Erwin's, and Levi should have killed him the first time his sword touched him. Every time I see him, I cannot believe how much the plot helps make him. Every time I see him, I cannot believe how much the plot helps him in making him survive. First, after he decimated the scouts and killed Erwin, Levi proceeded to disrespect him in every way possible by not only forcefully carving him out of his Titan form, but also shoving a sword inside his mouth. The second time, he turned all of Levi's allies into Titans, and just when he thought he was able to escape, Levi humiliated him again. But I personally think Levi should have gotten his revenge on him for real, and just ended this fool's life when he had the chance. Number 3, Rimuru massacres everyone. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Come closer. Listen to that sweet, sweet sound effect. You hear that? That's revenge at its sweetest. These humans made the biggest mistake in their history when they attacked Rimuru's city and killed a lot of subordinates, including Shion, and they paid with their lives. Do you know what Rimuru's kill count is after getting this revenge? It was over 9,000! Not a single soldier was left standing, and it was only from one attack. He just popped off headshots everywhere. The king even had the audacity to run his mouth, and just like the Sigma he is, Rimuru decided to cut his arm off. In this massacre, Rimuru showed why he is the strongest. And if he wasn't so nice, he could have easily destroyed their entire kingdom. And that countdown was just badass. Not only was this satisfying, but it was pretty awesome too. Number 2, Spike vs. Vicious, Cowboy Bebop. Now this one, is just a classic. If you're a true anime fan, you should have watched Cowboy Bebop at some point. And if you haven't, you really need to. We all knew that the Spike versus Vicious fight was gonna happen, and the wait was so worth it. When we finally witnessed Spike get his revenge for Julia. This was a masterpiece in its own right, and I can't make fun of it. Cowboy Bebop may have been released way back in the day, but the animation has aged like a fine wine. What makes this moment even better is that there were no superpowers, no power-ups, and no transformations. It's just two men fighting with everything they have. And that cliffhanger of an ending? Phenomenal. You can truly say that Cowboy Bebop ended with a bang. Number 1, Mustang Burns Envy, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Of course, you already knew this was gonna be on here, and a revenge list isn't complete when we don't add the Mustang vs. Envy fight in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Well, it was more of an execution than a fight. Mustang was in rage mode in this one, and he did not hold back. It was just snap, 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 then boom, boom, boom! Envy was screaming like hell, but Mustang just kept coming. What's even worse is that it took so long for Envy to die because of his regeneration, so he felt every attack Mustang threw at him. The animation was heavenly, and the soundtrack was perfect. This was the perfect revenge moment, and that's why it's number 1 in our list of top 10 satisfying revenge moments in anime. So that's it for this video. I know you guys have a lot more scenes in mind, so let us know in the comments which revenge moment was your favorite. Also, if you have any feedback for us, let us know so that we can improve our content to your liking. If you enjoyed watching this or just breathing oxygen, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell for more videos just like this one. Anime Donut, rolling out.